1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go.
Let's get our riders here. You guys ready? Well, good afternoon. We have what I think is very good news today. Most city services have gotten significantly better in the last few years. Our bus service has not, and it's been a source of continuing aggravation to me all across the country. Bus drivers have been reluctant to come to work what they had historically been paid. Many did not feel fairly compensated them for not just the everyday challenges of driving a bus, but also the risks of COVID. And so last year we did significant pay raises. Bus operators in Detroit now make roughly between $32,000 and $46,000 a year. That's significantly more than they were making before, but we are still just treading water. We want to put a lot more service on the road. We have the buses, we have the budget. What we need to have is the operators. And so I sat down with the union, and late last year we did an experiment because we've had attendance issues. We put some money into an attendance bonus, and attendance improved dramatically. And so I had some heart-to-heart conversations with the ATU union leadership, and what I said is this: I believe drivers who show up for work every day are actually worth more to the organization. That if you're riding a bus, and you're going to hear from some of our riders, when that operator is familiar with the route, they know the customers, they know the route, they're on time, and when somebody calls in sick, doesn't show unexpectedly, and somebody unfamiliar is thrown in, it isn't the same level of service. And so I sat with the union leaders and I said, what if we did this? What if we offered $4,000 in bonuses, $1,000 a quarter for any driver who shows up for the normal work hours and does not have more than 3 unscheduled misses in a quarter? I don't care about whether it's their fault or not their fault, et cetera. No more than 3 unscheduled misses. And the union has agreed to that. We will be sending it to City Council. You're going to get a chance to hear from one of our council members shortly. But what this is going to do is it's going to take, for drivers who regularly show up for work, take the pay from about $36,000 to nearly $50,000. That's far more than Detroit has ever paid for operators, but I believe these operators are worth it. The safety of our residents is in their hands. The safety of the other drivers on the street is in their hands. And so we're proposing to do this for a 1-year period. The union has agreed to it, and every operator in this city will be able to give themselves a $4,000 raise by regularly showing up for work. If this works the way we hope, we will put out significantly more buses before the end of the year, upgrade the service to our passengers. We need more frequent service on a lot of the routes, and we think this is a step in the right direction. City Council has been strongly advocating that we find a way to do this, and hopefully Council will act quickly to approve this amendment to the collective bargaining agreement. And with that, I'll turn it over to one of the strongest advocates on Council, Councilman Fred Durhal.
Hello, everyone. As many of us know, at the council table, during public comment, we received tons of calls from residents regarding our public transportation service. So today is a great day as we announce a raise for some of the most dedicated public employees that we have in the city of Detroit. Every day they wake up and they help move our residents who don't have cars, who don't have transportation. And they are on the front lines every day. They have been there through COVID. And so today is a great day and a great announcement to let them know how much we appreciate them and to ensure that they are paid not only commensurate to municipalities around us and around the country, but set a precedent that we care about our employees, particularly our bus drivers in the city of Detroit, and we are going and moving in the right direction to improve our service and transportation. So very, very excited. I know many of my colleagues on Detroit City Council, Council President Sheffield, Council President Pro Tem Tate, are very excited about improving our bus service, and we could not be happier about this announcement. today. And with that, I will turn this back over to the mayor, who I believe will introduce our next presenter. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to introduce the happiest man here, the leader of the DDOT system, Mikel Oglesby.
Yes, it's a happy time. We're really excited for various reasons. The first reason is we'll be able to increase frequencies. So we eliminated 3 of our routes and we brought 2 of them back. With this initiative, we'll be able to do a little bit more. And I'm proud to announce that within a few weeks, we're going to be increasing the frequency on 3 of our Connect 10 routes. And further, as we watch this, this bonus take place, if people really start coming in, we continue to push the way we've been pushing to higher, we will be increasing more frequency. I will tell you that our goal is to not just get to the old schedule frequency, but to go well beyond that frequency, okay? With that being said, I'm going to bring up the head of the ATU, the one that assisted and made this possible, Glenn Tober. Glenn?
Good afternoon. Well, this incentive will definitely, hopefully, increase the membership, which we need. As you know, we've been losing membership. We've been losing membership to SMART. We've been losing membership to Ann Arbor. And this will definitely help us to recruit, to bring some people on the payroll as we work to, well, the mayor and I and Mr. Oglesby and I have been trying to fight to try to get the pay up, and we'll continue to do that. My fight is over as of June 12th, June 30th, I'm sorry. My predecessor's not here right now. My successor's not here right now, but he'll still be fighting to get the membership up. So if we get more membership, we get more drivers, we can keep the buses rolling. My men and women have been out here all summer, all through the pandemic, trying to do what they can with the numbers that we have. And we'll continue to do that, and this only enhances that. So.
Thank you, Glenn. And when he says fight, he means work together. Just want to put that out there. But yes, we've been working together to make sure that we all are doing the right thing moving forward. Now, before I bring up a few of the advocates and riders, I think it's important to say that as we were going around talking about various projects and how to spend funding, we left it up to the people. And the people came out and said a few things. One, they wanted more shelters, and 2, you need a driver's incentive. So it's just ironic that this all falls into place, and I'm going to bring up Robert Machunsky to speak about it. Robert? Renard.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Can you all hear me? All right. First of all, happy belated Father's Day and Juneteenth to everyone today. This is a wonderful day to celebrate increased funding for operations for drivers. My name is Renard Mashunsky. I represent over 500 essential riders in the city of Detroit. We are called the Transit Justice Team, and we organize with the Detroit People's Platform for essential and better and safe, reliable, and affordable transit in the city of Detroit on behalf of neighborhoods and riders that use transit as their sole and only means and primary means of transportation. And today is a really encouraging day and first step for operators who are the backbone of this city, who move this city and ensure that all of us get to work, to our medical appointments, groceries, and whatever other reasons that bus riders use the bus. So I'm more than happy because residents, myself as a rider and as an organizer, have been advocating for increased pay for drivers before this pandemic, and I'm really glad that now today there's an emphasis on that. And I also want to reassure all riders in the city of Detroit and also operators in the city government that we will be advocating at the federal level for increased operations funding, taking away this emphasis of highway construction and expansion and bringing it down to transit. Transit has been underfunded for so many decades, so this is an encouraging first step, investing in the crucial system in the transit system, which is our drivers, our operators, and our mechanics as well. So just want to leave with saying, it's just a lot of residents right now are dealing with routes that are infrequent or unreliable. So this is the crucial first step to addressing that. If we don't address compensation with operators, we will have lower morale and the service will continue to decline. So I'm glad action is being done for that. But just know at the federal level, we are going to scream louder for more funding and end this system of putting more emphasis on highways instead of public transit. We deserve that as well. And I want to close with a statement that one of our advocates and riders say. In terms of safety for our operators, if our operators are safe, neither are we. And we mean that as from the rider community. Riders and drivers are together in this as well. So I'm very pleased, and I hope that this translates to way better service and frequency for riders across the city. Thank you.
Renard, as you can tell, Renard has a lot of passion, and I feel that passion every day. Just for clarity, next up I'm going to bring up Robert Pawlowski. That's why I said Robert earlier. I actually made him two different people, so they were looking at me like I was crazy. But Robert Pawlowski has been riding the buses for a long period of time. And to tell you the truth, when I came here 2 years ago, he was the first one to reach out and teach me about the system. So Robert, come on up.
Thank you, Mr. Oglesby. My name is Robert Pawlowski. I'm a non-resident of Detroit, but I spend a lot of time interviewing people in the city of Detroit regarding the bus service and what they want to see better. I'm a daily rider with AATA, DDOT, and SMART, mostly DDOT, but I spend a lot of time advocating between the three systems, especially our drivers. DDOT has improved so much over the past 2 years. We went from having new routes be implemented from 26 Junction to getting our retention bonuses. This is a step for Detroit. DDOT is the backbone of this system. Our bus drivers make this city grow every day. They get us from work to school to jobs right here in downtown Detroit. Our redevelopment process of downtown Detroit has really emphasized more jobs coming to the city and more bus riders getting on DDOT. The car insurance is insane in Michigan. That's why people rather take transit. The investment for transit is very critical to this region. I'm a bus rider myself. My main route is 19 Fort, just to get down here alone. And when that doesn't show up and we have less and less drivers going to either SMART or going to the Ann Arbor Area Transportation Authority because of a better union or a better pay, that's heartbreaking to the city. You know, I like our drivers. You know, I've spoken to a couple drivers myself down in the Gilbert terminal, and the amount of passion they come into work every day to speak and also drive to get our people downtown is absolutely amazing. You know, these retention bonuses are gonna help us in the city alone. The more drivers we have, the more people will wanna get on transit. Transit is essential in Detroit. It's essential for me, it's essential for Renard, and it's essential for Cunningham that's over here right in the background. But not just our riders, it's our drivers. That is the main key. For somebody that's been riding the buses for as long as I can remember, I can assure you one thing. DDOT is the most reliable it's been in many, many years. After the bankruptcy, we've grown up to where this stopping point of us having reliable service again. Regardless of the drivers, they come in and show up for work because the union has their back. And just to end it off, Mr. Tolbert, thank you for what you've done. You've been an awesome union president to this system and to this city. I look forward to the new union president and what kind of work he has to do for this system. And I look forward to working closely with DDOT and also our union to make sure DDOT thrives again. Transit is essential. Let's get on DDOT forever and keep it forever as long as we keep this climate change crisis going. Let's ride DDOT for good. Thank you.
I don't want to get up here after that. Before we continue, we have the incoming ATU president, Shetrone Collier. I want you to come on up and say a few words, if you will.
Good afternoon to everyone. As the gentleman said before, these type of bonuses and things that we hammered out for this program that we're rolling out for this is essential. It's essential because coming through the pandemic and coming out of it, you have to compete for employees. And for a long time, we fought my entire career here trying to get parity with the other systems in this region. And with the last contract, we're getting close, and we're right there, and we have to continue to do that here forward, right? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, I have been a driver myself for well over 30 years, and I have struggled to keep people here on the job. As a union official, when we have new people coming in, you have to convince them to stay here, and it hasn't been easy. But with the raise in the pay and the competitive wage that we're attempting to negotiate on a regular basis, retention is going to be essential. And so I think this bonus is a step in the right direction. And I'd like to thank Mikel and the mayor for getting this thing hammered out for my members who come to work. You always want to reward those people who do what they're supposed to do. And so this is a step in the right direction. Thank you.
All right. And before we take questions, I also want to join in saying congratulations to Glenn Tolbert, who's retiring as the ATU local president. We've worked together for 8 years. He has brought about the largest pay increases in the history. I know he doesn't think we got all the way there, but he was responsible and his team. And he also helped us navigate together the safety of the drivers through the COVID period. And I know Mr. Collier is going to carry on that great tradition of partnership. And with that, we'll take any questions. Okay, Mikel, the question is, how many more drivers would we like to have working than we have today?
We need about 90 drivers. We have budgeted a total of 510 drivers, and we're short 90 drivers. So if we can get the operators on board and put this incentive in place, together you'll see a drastic change in the service. Well, you know, the pandemic wreaked havoc and times have changed and people look at things differently. So, you know, you work your scheduled hours, you go home, that's it. What we're trying to do is we're trying to say, listen, you come in, you work your hours, you contribute to what we've laid out as far as scheduled hours, and you'll get a bonus. And I think that will be the shift and the change that is needed. So what that translates in service is if we can get 90 operators, we will be we'll be above the scheduled service that we had pre-pandemic, but with this incentive, it'll bring it over the top. So I anticipate that we'll have more frequent service. We'll be able to look at, with DDOT Reimagined, we'll be able to look at opportunities to grow. And that's ultimately what we're trying to do. We have 288 vehicles, and roughly 240 are used on a daily basis. That's not a true gauge of service, though, because, of course, we want frequency and we want to make sure we have scheduled miles. You could have a vehicle go in and out and count as two pullouts when it's not providing service. But I will tell you, from a scheduled miles point of view, our previous year's scheduled miles are roughly about 180,000. And we're riding at around 165. So, I think we'll be able to increase our revenue scheduled miles with this move. Well, there was multiple things. During the pandemic, it was really difficult to get operators to, feel safe. So we went out and we got barriers, masks, and of course, we gave them the vaccine. We were one of the first, along with the police, to do that. But during that period of time, it was really hard to recruit. So we went almost a year not having anyone come in, but people going out. And we've recovered from that. We're doing a massive effort of recruiting right now, and it's paying off. But I think this, coupled with recruiting, will speed up the process, and that's why within a few weeks we're going to be increasing 3 of the Connect 10 routes, and we'll see how this goes, and maybe the frequency on the next pick, it'll be a lot more. Okay.
Well, the old adage, if you build it, they will come. If we can build a service that has the frequency and the people coming to work, like I say, my men and women have been doing a remarkable job coming within the pandemic because of they're afraid of the virus. Sometimes, not all, but a few percentage of the passengers can be a little rowdy, which is understandable. I mean, you've been standing out there, so we've been trying to be patient. The department has been trying to give us tools to deal with these situations. So I think if we get the numbers up, I'm almost positive with gas at $5, over $5 a gallon. I'm sure that'll bring people back. I'm on my bike. I might lose weight next time you all see me because of the gas prices. So I'm sure that'll help.
Okay, so we haven't had a massive increase in cost of diesel fuel, so that hasn't affected us from a financial standpoint. As far as the statistics right now, it hasn't showed that there's been a massive increase in ridership due to the gas prices. It fluctuates ups and down, and the ebbs and flows are various reasons, but there hasn't been anything that's indicated it's gas prices. But common sense will tell you, obviously, with these gas prices, people are looking for a way to get to work. This incentive will bring that to fruition. And as Mr. Tolbert said, build it and they will come. We'll be able to run more frequent service to give people an opportunity to ride. Yes. Yeah, there are more vacancies. There are more vacancies now, of course, because like I said, as time went on, people started going out the door. And then it was harder to get people to come on board. I mean, right after the pandemic was over, people are still hesitant to, take this job. It is a difficult job. I mean, being a bus operator, you have to be able to drive the bus. You have to be customer service. You have to be, if you talk to Glenn, you have to be security. So, I mean, it's a lot to it, but it's a great job.
Mikel, tell people how they can get in the academy.
Oh, well, if you want to be a bus operator, go to www.detroitmi.gov. Go to the transportation website. We are hiring. Once you sign up and you come on board, we get you in the academy. Once we get you in, we don't want to let you go. So we're going to keep pushing hard.
It'll be in the range of 2 or 3 million, but again, our problem at DDOT is not funding. We have funding. We got 90 vacancies, so this isn't going to impact the overall budget. The best thing in the world we could have happen right now is every month we're running academy classes for new operators. We've been having as many leave as come in. We have to change that. We need to start having 10 or 20 more a month come in than leave. That's how we build the service. And Mikel Oglesby comes into cabinet every Wednesday. He has to report out are his service above last year's level or below last year's level. And he is very anxious to come in one day and have it increase. I think we're only a few weeks away. So our goal is let's start to get to the point where we're getting 20, 30 new operators a month. We're only losing 10, and we're gaining on the service, and we're hoping together that that's what this is going to do. Yeah, right now we got plenty of money in the city general fund. Yeah, so when you have 90 vacancies, you have plenty of money in the general fund. As I'm going to keep saying this, money is not the problem at DDOT. We have to fill these operator positions, and that's what we're doing. Sure. Yeah. He's asking me, Gilbert. You know, the media in this town, I think, does an outstanding job. But, boy, this story on the Gilbert tax abatement is one of the worst reported stories that I have seen. No money in property taxes paid downtown can leave downtown. Mayor Coleman Young passed the Downtown Development Authority Act in 1975. So every building that you see, 100% of the property taxes on those buildings stays here. They go to build parking structures, they go to the baseball and football stadium. And so the notion that somehow that this would be a tax break on Hudson's would take money away from libraries or schools or neighborhood services, it's just not true. That money has to stay downtown. So the decision that council is making, and they made it in 2017 when they unanimously voted this break, is this. We've had a site that's been empty for 40 years. Dan Gilbert steps up and is building the second largest building in the entire state of Michigan at a time nobody else is trying that. Construction costs have gone up dramatically. He's now planning a 48-story building. If he doesn't have this $60 million, he's going to go back and look at, can I build a building that big? And we all lose because here's what happens. There's 2,000 permanent jobs. Those 2,000 workers pay city income taxes. There's 7,500 construction jobs. Those jobs pay city income taxes, and those income taxes do go to the neighborhoods. They go to the police, they go to fire, they go to parks and the like. We want this building to be built as large as possible for the long-term viability of the city. And so I think the proposal makes sense. Council voted for it unanimously in 2017, and I think if the public understood that nobody's taking any money away from neighborhoods or schools, I think there'd be a great deal of support. I know Councilman Durhall understands that, and I'll let him speak to it.
So as the mayor articulated, I think sometimes there's a misnomer about tax abatements. And coming from the state level as a state legislator, I can tell you getting that information down to the public has been difficult. I think it's really important, particularly with projects, and I've gone on record stating that I support this project. It will help our city grow. There's already housing that has been dedicated or agreed to, and some other conditions as well. And so I think when we look at a site again, and particularly some of these projects in the city of Detroit where no one for years would come in and develop that, we've got to be really sensitive to that. It will help grow our economy. As the mayor articulated, it will bring jobs here, and not just regular jobs. A lot of our partners in the unions, they can speak to this, whether it's the carpenters or whether it's IBEW or just very strong unions. It will get people back to work. It will take a site that has been vacant for so long and develop it, and we can start something new again down here in the city of Detroit.
So the council approved the abatements in principle. You don't know the exact amount until you get into the actual construction costs. Nobody thought this was $1.5 billion project in 2017. But there is more construction going on in the city of Detroit than at any time in almost 70 years. And you talk to any builder in this city, construction costs have gone up. And so the question is, what's the right amount? And so everybody knew that they were going to have to come back in 21 or 22 to size the final abatement to the correct size. This is essentially ratifying the unanimous decision council made in 2017. Anybody have anything else they want to talk about today? Yeah, right now we're going one step at a time. So the day I come in on a Wednesday morning and Mikel can show me his services above last year, we're going to start talking about other things. Thank you all.